Ladies and gentlemen, I am Hypo, and we're taking a closer look today at the NightBlade. The NightBlade is your typical rogue in other MMOs, focusing on stealth, assassination, that kind of thing. You've got your three up here. You've got assassination, shadow, and siphoning. Assassination is all about dealing damage, and yeah, it can be quite a lot of damage. It's primarily as an offensive character with melee abilities, and you can dish out the hurt in large quantities. So, if that's the way you want to go with this character, that's the tree you want to stick to. Shadow, all about getting out of sight, unseen, get out of sight, get some range and attack again. About turning invisible. It's not going to be your typical sit there invisible forever and a day. It's going to be limited. So, sitting there invisible, you may think, wow, that's amazing. It's truly not the same invisibility that you've seen in other MMOs. So, don't think, oh, I'll sit invisible for a while and then gank somebody, because it's not going to work. You can do a little bit of damage later on in this tree as well, but the damage is mainly in assassination rather than in this shadow kind of skill tree. Moving on, we have siphoning. Now, siphoning is all about taking health from your enemy. This is sort of your survival tree. Your self-heals, taking it from the enemy, giving it to yourself, that kind of like necro kind of style. You will have a fairly minimal amount of health with this class. So, be warned that yes, they do a lot of damage, but their survivability is not as good as something like the Dragon Knight. So that's one thing to make sure, be aware of, and you may want to take some siphoning skills. So you've got your weapons here, two-handed, dual wield, bow, that kind of thing. Now, I play as a bow in this class because I was looking for a kind of like an archer style, and they're fairly effective archers, the NightBlades, but they kind of excel at dual wield, in my opinion, getting up close and personal and just cutting things up with your melee. Then you choose your armor based on light armor if you want more magicka, medium if you want more maneuverability and stamina, then heavy armor if you want more armor. Your best bet is to stick with medium armor for this. And they are your typical, like I said before, your typical roguey kind of thief, assassin style class. So if that's the class you like, go for this. Now, when selecting a race, there's multiple races you can choose. Khajiit is often your best one because they've got increased critical damage, so when playing as a melee would be a good idea. Whereas, it's also increased stealth radius, so when you're stealthed, it's going to be better. What else do we have? We've probably got Bosma, would be, this is what I am. You have, if I go down to my skills here, and we have increased stamina recovery while in combat, so it means I can just use weapon skills faster. One thing to remember is I do not consider this first skill, the expertise skill, to be any good, so never base your racial choice on this skill, because it is absolutely pointless. Because once it's maxed out, this skill is absolutely garbage. And, to be honest, leveling up your weapon skills doesn't take that long, so increased experience is pointless. Increases poison and disease resistance. Not bad. And increases your maximum stamina. That's better. Stealthy. Way improves your stealth radius by 1 meter. And increases damage done from while stealthed. Well, that's, bad English. I've never actually read that one before. By 3%. So as you stealth up, get into position, fire off a bow. I find this quite useful. You can do the same with blades, get into stealth, open up with a nice heavy attack with a, blade, and job sorted. Argonians make good NightBlades because they have racial abilities for the, I will find out. It's basically they can have better effects with potions they drink. So, when you're drinking health potions, stamina potions, you get better effects on them. But the one that is worth mentioning is Quick to Mend. It increases healing received by 2%. Well, when using siphoning to heal yourself, which is up here, you will actually be increased healing received from it, which is very useful. So Argonians, a little bit of an oddball choice when you think about it, but still very, fairly good. Breton can be a good choice because their skills kind of revolve around your magicka cost. Now, magicka cost, so you can do more siphoning skills, more assassination skills, and more shadow. You don't have a lot of choices, unfortunately, if you want to be in the Daggerfall. You've got Redguard, Orc, and Breton. Well, Breton tends to be your best choice in that skill line. So it's kind of a bit of an oddball character there, but I've played briefly as a Breton NightBlade, and it was actually not a bad choice if I focused a lot of my skills on siphoning, a little bit less on assassination kind of style. So it may be maybe a bit of an odd choice for some people, but for me it sort of worked. But yeah, that you haven't got a huge amount. They're not the best, and there are better out there, but it's kind of a last-ditch effort for the Daggerfall as a choice. So, that said, you're better off probably sticking to some of the others. High Elf can be fairly effective. NightBlades, because you can just cast more assassination skills. The increased movement speed of Orcs could be quite useful. The increased stamina regeneration on Redguards could be quite useful as well, and probably quite viable now thinking about it. But yeah, so if you're looking for your typical rogue, stealthy, thiefy assassin, go for your NightBlade. The NightBlade is the best choice for you. So get into combat, cut stuff up as quickly as possible, avoid damage, sneak around a bit, grab yourself a NightBlade and have some fun. Check out my other videos as well, please. I will be doing videos on the Dragon Knight, the Templar, and the Sorcerer, and I'll be doing a final video for the hybrid class, which is things are a little bit oddball, a little bit of a mix and match, and things that possibly aren't the norm. So check them out, and until next time, have fun cutting up the enemies from the shadows, and I shall catch you next time.